Watch out, here I come. Watch out, here I come.
Nope, wrong one. Okay. Wait. No, not the device. Where's the... Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. Sort of working. Give me a second, guys, because when you start moving from place to place, you don't get your camera's now not working. So let me see if I can get this back on working. But hello, everybody. I hope you all can hear me. There we go. Okay. Welcome aboard. We're running about as late as Amtrak over here because of the technical difficulties, but bear with me. We'll get this going in just a quick minute here. All right, let me see if I can make sure that I have... All right, good. Okay, so at least the audio works this time, but not the camera. Go figure. But yeah, when you're all over the place, come back from Miami, and now the camera doesn't want to work. But we'll get that going. Howdy, folks. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome aboard to this edition of the American Rail Club live stream, the ARC stream over here. And yeah, we're going to be talking about this, which is it's completely derailed. My original plan for this weekend was what I was talking about over here. But let me see if I can get the camera working here. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm here now. Finally, we got that going. Okay, and the volume, let's bring that up because it's a little low. There we go. Okay, I think we're good. The only thing I'm missing is just the chat, but let's get that going, guys. But yeah, it's been...
Volume is low.
Volume is still low? Okay, I brought it up. There we go. Okay. There we are. Okay, guys. I hope you all are doing well, but this is quite the funny stuff that's going around over here. I mean, didn't we talk about this about privatizing Amtrak? I don't know, about 10 years ago. But the minute Elon Musk says something, it becomes news. And look, I'm not a billionaire. I'm not rich or anything like that. So my word doesn't really mean much of anything in terms of weight or size or whatever. I mean, to you guys, it does mean a lot. And I thank you guys for that. And you guys mean a lot to me too. But look, I'm not Elon Musk. I guess I can claim a victory over Elon Musk because I was right about the Hyperloop. So I kind of defeated him on that. But I mean, that was just commonsensical. Let me see if I can get this working over here. There. Yeah. Okay. All right. Wait. There we go. Okay. For those of you who are new, apologies. This is kind of something that shouldn't be happening all the time, but it's kind of a thing. Welcome aboard to the American Rail Club, where we try to make America's railroads great again. There we go. This is my original hat. I've had this for now close to 7 years now. I should sell these at some point. I should, but hey. Let's get the chat over here. Hello, everybody in YouTube land. Hello, Brian Rock Rail fan. Hey, Darius. Hey, Richard King. Greetings, salutations as well. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope nobody has gotten seriously hurt or had any sort of car accidents, because I absolutely hate daylight savings time. I think it's terrible, and I was going to complain about it again for I don't know how many times I've complained about daylight savings time. I think it's terrible. I think we don't need it anymore. You can't wake up an hour before. Why the farmers wake up already at daylight anyway? Why do we need to move everybody's clocks that way? But okay, let's talk about this now. Let's crack open a beer, and since it's about spring here, I'm going to have the last of my eggnog. Yes. I basically stock up on eggnog throughout the whole winter, and that I think daylight savings time should be banned, and I think getting rid of the eggnog before winter is over should be both federal crimes. Okay, but what do I know? Elon Musk wants to privatize Amtrak. It'll make train travel worse. So we've talked about privatizing Amtrak so many times, but to give you guys who are new or who are not too familiar with the subject, the gist. Privatizing Amtrak is a little bit difficult. And it's not about should we privatize something or make something public. Okay? The problem with Amtrak, it has nothing to do whether it's public or private. There are good ways to do privatization. There are bad ways to do privatization. There are good ways to do public companies. There are bad ways to do it. Okay? England and the whole UK did privatization absolutely wrong. And this article goes into that as well, talking about it. But the way that they did it was they basically privatized in England. I'm going to make it very brief. Instead of privatizing sections of rail, they privatized the tracks, the track ownership, the ownership of the the stations, the ownership of the trains, the ownership of the rights to operate those trains. I mean, they privatized every little bit of it, and it became a complete mess. Japan privatized very well. And we'll talk a little bit about that as well, because I've been talking, singing praises about how Japan privatized their high-speed rail, not high-speed rail, but their whole entire, not their whole entire network, but a lot of their main JR networks, which is the main intercity rail networks and the bullet trains as well. Those are all private companies, okay? And they have to operate at a certain way where they have to keep rural travel, okay? Now, this article goes into it, and I'm just going to pick some things here and there because I already read through this. Basically saying instead it could add operational costs, deteriorate service, result in higher fares, and still leave the system unprofitable. Amtrak does already have higher fares, but it has nothing to do with anything so far. And the reason why Amtrak is late on many of its other routes, apart from just being run inefficiently, and that's just an Amtrak thing. That has nothing to do whether it's a private or public company. Okay? The French do pretty well. And SNCF, the French National Railroad Company, is run pretty well, okay, relative to the rest of public companies. Okay, the French have their issues, but relative, they've run pretty well. What California is doing with their project, not so well. What Brightline has done, pretty well. Okay, so it has nothing to do, and I'm gonna just hit on this. It has nothing to do whether private good, private bad, public bad. It has nothing to do with that, because you can give some silly Billy a hammer. And instead of saying, use that hammer to hit nails, if he's hitting himself in the head, he doesn't know how to use the tool. Okay? It doesn't matter what tool you give these people, whether it's privatization or putting it as a public government run company. It doesn't matter if they don't know how to use a tool. And unfortunately, in the United States, we don't have really good, people don't really know how to use the tools that are given to them. So it has nothing to do with whether privatizing Amtrak is not going to end all be all. Okay, and I've talked about ways that we should privatize Amtrak. Okay, that there should be it should be split into probably into several different companies, and those companies should and have to, by law, keep their routes. And not only on top of that, they cannot decrease the amount of routes, and they should be given priority. The other big problem with Amtrak is the reason why they're late has to do with that they're borrowing from the freight railroad companies. And the freight railroads don't really give them the prioritization to run, which by law, passenger rail has the priority to run, but they still don't. So they don't follow that law. And Amtrak barely has any teeth to really do anything with that. They've complained, they've tried something, hasn't happened. Okay, honestly, this is more of a cultural problem within the United States when it comes to cars, and we'll talk a bit about that. That was going to be my main thing for today. Talking about not only building back infrastructure here in the United States and retooling and reshoring companies, which we'll get into that, but also talking about bringing back the culture of America that we had of walkable cities, of great infrastructure, rail travel, and bringing that back. Okay, and it's going to take time. This is not something we can fix overnight, and privatizing something doesn't fix it. But anyway, so now Doge, they're saying that we should privatize not just the USPS, which USPS is pretty horrible. Okay, it's not at all what it used to be. I don't know how much time now mail has gone through. I mean, for my wedding invitations, I've been afraid that the USPS is going to lose the invitations because they've already had that before. When I went down to Florida, I brought some invitations with me just in case, because why trust the government when you can just do it yourself? Okay, and that's what I honestly say for a lot of things. You're just going to have to learn to do it yourself, because the government is not going to be there for you. They're not the first responder. You are. We're going to have to be more self-sufficient, and that goes into the states as well. But anyway, I digress. I'm not going into this article too much because this is stuff that we've already talked about. Everybody's freaking out about this, and it's silly because, again, it's Elon Musk. He kind of projectile vomits ideas here and there. Some of them are good. A lot of them are not. And if it's not that, he's blowing up rockets again. Like that was again. This happened last week again, and I would show that, but there's already a lot that we have to go through before we talk about that. But yeah, this is it's really silly. I mean, it's just nuts. But anyway, let's see. Privatizing Amtrak won't necessarily make it cheaper to operate, which is true for any entity, as all the business expenses would still be there. Plus, a private company would seek to maximize profit by cutting costs and charging more. Amtrak has been doing the same thing. And honestly, look, Amtrak has been on the upswing. I would say they've been doing pretty well. And I've been pretty critical about Amtrak my whole lifetime. I love Amtrak. I love going on Amtrak. But can Amtrak be better? Abso-freaking-lutely. They can be a heck of a lot better. It honestly has to do with the culture within Amtrak and the culture of America as a whole. And no, I don't mean no Vivek Ramaswamy culture. Okay, I don't at all mean that. That's the problem with America right now, is it's become a culture of mediocrity, and we're okay with that. And we shouldn't be. Okay? But we shouldn't completely dilute and destroy America's culture. We have a culture. We had a culture. We had a train culture. It's just bringing that back, reviving that, and making it better. That's all. We had it. We can make it again. That spark is still there. But here we go. Again, talking about privatization, what happened with British Rail. The problem with these articles, they don't talk about any other sort of privatization. They go back to what happened with British Rail. We know British Rail was pretty bad. Okay, after privatization, British Rail also experienced notable safety issues, including 4 fatal accidents that led to 49 deaths. Britain has since reversed course, passing a bill to renationalize its rail services. That's going to take forever. I mean, look at HS2 and how long that's taking. Okay, look, as bad as America is right now, Britain is completely spiraling into third worlddom. That country is, and it has nothing to do with third world. I mean, they're really deindustrializing. They're not at all what they used to be, and it's sad. I mean, if you're Spanish, Irish, or anybody who's had problems with the British Empire, oh well, they kind of had it coming, I guess. It's sad. Look, it's sad. It's sad. Very sad. Very sad what's happening to Britain. It's terrible. Once a great empire where the sun never sets, and now they can't even run trains. They can't even build HS2. It's even worse than California, dare I say, worse than California. It's terrible, horrible, horrible what's going on. But anyway, and here we go. Privatizing Amtrak wouldn't totally erase the need for federal transit funding either. This is kind of a low blow. Brightline West, a private high-speed rail line in the works between Las Vegas and Rancho Cucamonga, California, once said the project would require, quote, no capital operating funding from the government. But since it sought and received $3 billion federal grant. Yes, take the money. If they're giving it out to study, I don't know, gender-confused rats or whatever it is, why can't Brightline West have that money? If they're putting that money for Sesame Street in Iraq, we might as well have some money here to build our own infrastructure. Wouldn't that make any sense? I'm pretty sure that would. Yeah, take the money. Who cares? You know how many private companies take money? Elon Musk is taking money. All these other companies have taken money. I'm pretty sure BlackRock and all their infinite span across the multiverse of corporations that they have taken under their tentacles, I'm pretty sure they have taken lots and lots of government money. And I'm pretty sure they've lobbied themselves to take that's part of the problem here in the United States, is that we're not really a free market. So if you have the opportunity, especially as a up-and-coming passenger rail system, which is very hard to make in the United States, mainly due to the bureaucracy, yeah, take the darn money. Go ahead. Take it. Who cares? I don't care anymore. Take the money. Okay, you have to kind of be mercenary about these things. Take it. Who cares? Sought and received $3 billion. Thank you. Thank you. I'll take it. I don't care. If private companies took over Amtrak, they would also have the right to operate on freight tracks, which own 97% of Amtrak's route network. Amtrak has that right through federal statutes, but it's not transferable to private companies. Why not? Why not? It should be. It should be. But anyway, this is again, silly things. It gets even worse on some other things, but this is kind of funny here. Amtrak supporters respond to sad situation comments with rare footage of the new high-speed Acela, which is still. When I first saw this article, I thought, oh, they're going to push this back again. It's going to be another delay. At this point, Amtrak is becoming just as bad as CD Projekt Red when it comes to delivering on time, but it looks like it's actually coming. So there we go. So they are coming out with it, and people started sharing videos about the Alstom Avelia Liberty, which has been in testing since 2020 for 5 years. But we talked about that plenty. It's finally coming out, but unfortunately, again, the other problem with Amtrak is that they're operating on some pretty old infrastructure. Okay? This article from the New York Times makes it pretty apparent. See if I can make sure that this is, there we go. And yes, I don't care, New York Times. It's going on archive.today. Little known fact, guys, you can do that, and it's free. You can take all the articles you want. I can get as many articles as I can. They're free. You can take them from the park. Just put them in archive today. There you go. That's it. Elon Musk proposes privatizing Amtrak, calling rail service sad. I mean, let's be honest. If you've seen stuff like this, it's kind of sad. I was just scrolling through X trying to find the actual original tweet, which, by the way, X search is kind of it's hit or miss. It's kind of bad. So Elon Musk is not at all perfect, and I've criticized a lot of Elon Musk. I've probably been much more critical of him. I just find him funny. I find him funny. He's a human cannonball. As long as he's pointed towards the people I can't stand, go ahead, have at it. The minute he's pointing at me, I'm flipping my Mirror Force card. Trap card is going. You got to be careful with people like that because they're kind of in it for themselves. You just have to watch them, okay? And that's you have to be a little bit Machiavellian about that, about the people that you have next to you who are like that, okay? People you trust and whatever, fine. Absolutely trust them with your lives. But people who you can't really trust and they're kind of in it for themselves, be very wary. Be very wary. Anyway, yeah, Amtrak has always had its issues. It is kind of it's not the best. It's what we have, but it works and it's getting better. I would say Amtrak has been getting better, and that's a fair thing to say. Okay, but yeah, it does have its problems. Let's see if I can get to this article. No, and nobody wants to link the X, the X post, Twitter post, whatever. So I don't know where it is. But anyway, okay. Speaking at a tech conference Wednesday, Elon Musk added Amtrak to the list of government-funded services on his chopping board, calling the federally owned railroad embarrassing and saying that privatization was the only way to fix it. If you go to China, you get epic bullet train rides, said Musk, the billionaire who is working to dismantle the federal bureaucracy under the Trump administration. They're amazing. China's trains, which are subsidized by the communist government, have produced large public debts, which, again, China's never going to pay that debt. They own their own debt. They're never going to call their own debts, or no other foreign government is going to call China's debt. They're going to say, okay, there goes the whole entire world economy that's been globalized and all it's all clumped together. This is the problem with globalization. When you're not self-sufficient, okay, and you're basically playing casino finance with everybody else's countries, and this is what you get. You can't really dismantle yourself or separate yourself from that. No one's going to call China's debt. No one's going to call the America's debt. You might as well take whatever debt. We're going to hit 40 trillion. We're going to hit 50 trillion. We're going to hit 60 trillion. We'll probably officially hit 100 trillion. We've already hit 100 trillion when you put in the social security and all the liabilities to that. We have. But we might as well spend the money. It's the problem. The whole thing with Doge and USAID and all the rest of the stuff is just showcasing how badly run the federal government is. And it's not how badly run. It's running exactly as it is. It's managed mediocrity. They want it that way because it's easier for the people who are in charge to benefit off the system. That's why. This is why you're seeing so many people freaking out. The same people, and by the way, all those has anybody noticed all the Doge protests? I mean, I've never seen that many old people get angry about something since all the Brightline and All Aboard Florida commission meetings. It seems like the side that was against Brightline, they seem to just gotten older and now they're complaining about. That's what it looks like. It's the same sort of mentality of people in the same sort of demographic group. If anybody has noticed, Okay, and again, if you go about the boomers, boomerism is less to do with an age group. It is connected to an age group, but it's kind of a disease that kind of just goes in between it. Not all boomers have boomerism, but there's a lot of boomers with it, and I would say a lot of Gen Xers and millennials. Mainly, I would say half of Gen Xers and maybe 25% of millennials have some sort of boomerism. It's a really bad problem in this country where it's me, myself, and I'm gonna cry and complain about it because that's the way. If I protest enough, things will work. It doesn't work that way. If you scream about it and yell the same stuff you've been yelling since 1969 in Woodstock, it's not going to change anything. It's just going to complete. This is why we have this, because of the boomerism mentality. Is that this is why we don't have working trains, because everybody wanted their giant suburban house, and forget what the consequences would have been if we could actually fix our roads and our infrastructure and bridges. We're not thinking long term. We're thinking too short term, and that's why China can go ahead and spend whatever billions of dollars and get away with it. Yeah, they're going to produce large public debts. They're never going to pay it. They're never going to pay it. No one's ever going to call that debt. Just stop thinking about it. You might as well just build regular assets. So they have a whole bunch of ghost villages and ghost cities. So what? Our cities are turning into ghost cities. Have you been to Gary, Indiana? It's dead. It's a ghost city. We didn't build it. We're just letting cities become ghost cities. China's at least building them. It's silly. It really is. And then Elon Musk said, and you come back to America and you're like, Amtrak is a sad situation. I mean, Trump has said the same thing back in 2015. We put that clip too when Trump said, in China they have trains that go 300 miles an hour, and here we have trains that go chug, chug, chug. He literally said chug, chug, chug. This is what it is. Uh, I mean, it's silly. We should be building stuff. It doesn't matter. Again, private company, public company, it doesn't matter if you don't have the right people in charge. That's the problem. And right now, at the helm of our country, we don't have really the right people in charge anyway. That's why people that's why people voted for Trump. They just don't care anymore. Whether they like him or not, they voted for him mainly because of, let me just put it here. Let me see if we can, let's put this reminder again. And no, I haven't seen the YouTube comments. Let me go ahead and check that. But here we go. This is why most people voted for who they voted for, because of this. That's why we're gonna keep reminding you, the people who are the bad faith argument. This is why. It didn't matter whether it was logical or not. The guy who was in charge didn't do such a good job, so they're gonna vote for the other guy, and they voted in mass. They voted in mass. It was a resounding victory for Trump, whether you like it or not. Okay. And the good thing that Trump is probably going to do is get rid of a lot of the bureaucracy and red tape that is around surrounding building any sort of infrastructure. Look, if we can get, and I've been thinking about it, if we can get Lee Zeldin to get rid of the EIS studies, because EIS studies, they do have state EIS studies. When Brightline went ahead and built their system, they had to wait 4 years for the federal EIS study to complete, but only 3 months for Florida's EIS study to complete. States can run their own EIS studies. It can take 3 months. We know if we get like 2 people here on the club, they'll do it for free within a week. And it'll be a heck of a lot more transparent. It'll be a heck of a lot more in depth. But hey, we're not in charge yet. Not yet. Get there. We'll get there, guys. And right now, you guys gotta be, we gotta be more in charge of our local. Look, the other good thing about this, about Trump going in there and Elon Musk going in there like a wrecking ball, is basically they're dismantling the federal government. So what? I mean, the federal government is nothing as good as a piggy bank. It's a piggy bank. Take the money. Here we go. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Take the money. If the piggy bank is sick and it's breaking apart, ah, oh well. Sorry. I mean, the federal government has not done anything in good faith to keep the public of the United States loyal to it in any sort of sense. Not to the country, okay? Because we're always going to be loyal to the country, the nation of America. The federal government's a different thing, okay? Just, no. Yeah. Oh well. Thanks for the money. Build it in your backyard. Build it in your backyard. Okay? But I mean, it's just Here you are. On Wednesday, the railroad published a white paper arguing against privatization, saying it is not clear what problem Amtrak privatization proposals are intended to solve. Again, it's not about privatization. It's about making it work better. I think Amtrak should probably get a huge boost of money, particularly the Northeast Corridor. I think Amtrak should be able to run the Northeast, and it's been running the Northeast Corridor pretty fine. I think it just needs a good amount of money, and that money needs to be audited all the time. So they're not spending what should be, let's say, $5 million per mile. It doesn't balloon to, like in New York City, $2 billion. There's no way it needs to be that. Ridership in the Northeast Corridor has soared since the COOF, it said, and the Acela is expected to introduce new trains that will travel 160 miles this year, 160 miles per hour, for like 25 miles. The average speed will still be around 80, maybe 85, because the rest of the network is still pretty decrepit, pretty old. And again, the British system. Let's talk about the British. Has no one ever here talked about? Look at that. 0 results for Japan. 0 results for Japan. You know what? Let's talk about Japan. Let's talk about Japan because 1964, Japan built a bullet train. Okay? It took them 5 years. It took them 5 years, and they spent half the cost of what per mile California is spending. Okay? And this was including research and development because nothing like this had ever existed before. Okay? So they built this. They research, developed it, they built it. They got it done. Okay? Fast forward until the 1980s. JNR, the Japanese National Railroad, is basically Amtrak at that time, not doing so hot, not doing so well. So what does the Japanese government do? They privatize it. Okay, and if I can get the, where did the map go? This is silly. Where's my map? There's my map. There we go. So Japan privatized and split it up into several different companies. Okay, and this is kind of an older map, but anyway, you can kind of see what's going on. Okay, so you have JR Hokkaido, which runs on this island over here, this northernmost island with a lot of snow. You have JR East, which runs all the way over here from Tokyo all the way up to Aomori and Akita and all those other places. Okay, you have JR Central, which runs the Tokaido Shinkansen. This is like the crown jewel of Japan, Tokyo to Osaka, which is what they originally built. Okay, again, war-torn Japan built this within 5 years. In the late 1950s, early 1960s. California, in 10 years, modern technology, cannot even build a functioning railroad in the Central Valley. It has nothing to do with if it's private or public. It has to do with who's in charge. That's all. Let's make it simple. That's all. And I don't think whoever's in charge right now in California is not a moral person. That's another thing. We need more moral people in charge. Okay? Because it's not right. It's not right. You shouldn't sit okay with that. You shouldn't sleep well at night saying, gee, it's only taken 10 years in my state to build a couple of concrete viaducts in the Central Valley. Oh, by the way, people are leaving California. I have to revise my ridership records because are we opening 2032? No, we're not opening 2032. Maybe 2036. No, maybe 2037. Maybe never. Maybe never. That's California. You have people in charge who just don't care. It's as simple as that. Okay, it's as simple as that. Anyway, back to Japan. I'm ticked off. I'm ticked off. Our country should be doing a heck of a lot better. It's absolutely true. We should be doing a heck of a lot better. But anyway, in the 1980s, Japan privatized. They split it up into different companies. So you have Kyushu. You have it's basically in different sectors of the country. And again, Japan is not a massive country, but if you put it in comparison to the eastern seaboard of the United States, it's about the same. And we can compare that later on. And I've done that before. But anyway, let's just keep going. Okay? In the 1980s, Japan's railroads still had this. Okay? The same train that they had in the 1980s. They built in the 1960s. They still had the same darn train. They had never really made any sort of progress. But once they privatized, and again, you have to have good people in charge of the privatization. This is what they had within 5 years. A freaking Evangelion train. Okay, they went from 125 miles an hour to now reaching speeds of excess of 186 or 300 kilometers an hour. 186 miles an hour for people who use real measurements. There you go. But yeah, basically an Evangelion train, which they're retiring in 2027. they've had so many iterations and so many improvements upon the Shinkansen system itself that now this is what they're doing. This is the next one that's coming in. Get out of here. I don't like these cookies. Get out. I don't want cookies. You're not even giving me free cookies. I hate websites that do that. It should be yes or no, and it should be no. I don't want your cookies. But anyway, look at this E10 Shinkansen train. Designed by a UK-based design consultancy. Look, the UK can't even build their own trains, but they're getting a design consultancy. They basically took the existing E5 Shinkansen and just added some liveries to it. It looks perfectly fine to us. That's a bad British. I've never been able to do a good British accent for some reason. I've watched I don't know how many seasons of Top Gear before it got destroyed. But anyway, yeah, first train's expected to enter service in 2030. Meanwhile in California, they're not building anything. All right, but yeah, look at this, and this is what it looks like this inside already. But this is they just changed the colors around here and there. But yeah, this is what Japan has. Okay, you can do privatization right. It's about having the right people in charge and having the right plan. You can do a public transportation system right. It's about having the right people and the right plan. Okay, and China. In China, let's talk a little bit about let me see if I can just open up let me see. Chinese Railroad Act. Well, I'll give you the gist of it. I'm not going to look it up. In China, the guy who was in charge of the Chinese rail system at the time when they had one of the biggest accidents, the biggest, basically the biggest accident they had and the only accident they had, it killed like 120 people or something like that. It killed a lot of people. It was something that shouldn't have happened, but they started to investigate and they said, well, this guy who was in charge of our company, who was in charge of the Chinese National Railroad Company, he was going and getting bribes to go ahead and cheap out on the construction, whatever. Yeah, they sentenced that guy to death. You think we can do that here in the United States? No. There's no sort of responsibility now. Again, China is a communist country. They don't really operate as a communist country because they have a heck of a lot of capitalism over there. But again, you have to have some sort of responsibility. Maybe not, sentencing a guy to death, but you know what? Sometimes some people just have. There's no other way for them to learn. It's sad, but it's true. It's sad, but it's true. Anyway, oh man, this has been a thing tonight. Oh boy, what happened to my what happened to Discord here? What's going on with Discord? Why did Okay, I don't know why Discord now just slipped up. Okay, but anyway, let's put that again. And there we go. My apologies, guys. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, we're back. Yeah, my apologies. All right, it's 8:52. Little funny things over here. This was like probably the most cringeworthy post out of all of this. By Chris Jackson, dad, husband, 16-year elected office. Okay, election aficionado. Who's an aficionado of elections? Who loves elections? Apparently Chris Jackson does. Blue Wave Party Chair. That tells you everything. Team Joe, political strategist. These are the people we have in power. People who post this. Oh man, this guy has Marvel brain, like real bad Cape crap Marvel brain. Look, Jack, I've been riding these trains longer than you've been launching rockets. Amtrak's staying the way it is. End of the line for you. Has anybody seen Joe? Leave Joe alone. The poor guy has had so much already to deal with. He doesn't even know where he is. Leave the guy alone at this rate. I mean, he's gone. He's gone. Both physically and mentally. He'll probably be gone within 2 years off our mortal coil. Okay, the poor guy. Let's let him go. He's been around as long as Amtrak has been around. That's the funny thing. Biden got into politics around 1971. Amtrak's been around since 1971. Go figure. Not much has really happened since. But, oh well. Look, again, main point, there's a right way to do things. And I've been proposing this and pushing about this for a long time. But the main gist of it is that we can do it right, but it's about having the right people in charge and about having a sort of timeline that's acceptable and that's going to get you somewhere. That's all. We've been talking about this to death. But anyway, the thing that does need to change, that really does need to change, and I think this is happening, and I've been thinking about this. This was going to be the main thing, the topic for tonight before this whole kerfuffle happened. Okay, and I'm sorry, guys, everybody in Discord land, we will bring you on. We will bring you on. Okay? But anyway, all right. I keep saying anyway too much. That's another thing I gotta. At least I don't say also do as well. Also too as well. That was a bad filler um, phrase that I had. I got that beat out of me pretty promptly when I moved up here. Trump pauses tariffs on autos from Canada and Mexico for 1 month. 1 month. Trump said he was going to put a 25% tariff on all cross-border shipments. Well, that freaked out a lot of people. Particularly, it freaked out one company in particular, which I will go ahead and bingo. If you want to buy an American car and you're really set on buying, I want to buy an American car, I want to buy American, hire American, you buy a Honda. Honda kaimasu. You buy a Honda. Honda makes major moves to sidestep tariffs. They were going to build another facility in Mexico, or they were going to build a facility in Mexico, and now they're not. Now they're not. They're going to expand in a little place called Indiana. Indiana, where's Hoosier State, which is where I reside right now. Okay, and I'll keep talking about Indiana. Everybody keeps asking me, Demetrius, why do you keep talking about Indiana? Why do you keep talking about Florida? And it's because, well, there we go. I'm going to keep talking about Indiana. And if you don't like it, oh well, because we live here. That's going to be, you know what? That's a way to end most arguments, because we live here. That's all. That's what we got to keep saying, because we live here. Red Dawn is a fantastic movie, by the way. If you haven't seen Red Dawn, do yourself a favor. Go watch Red Dawn. Do not watch there was no remake. Let's put it that way. We're going to act a little Chinese right now, Chinese Communist Party. It's never a remake. You're talking nonsense. Red Dawn was never remade. We're not talking about it. It's a 1984 Red Dawn you have to watch. Okay, that's it. Watch Red Dawn. Back to Honda. There's not no red badge over here. The Civic Si, or are they still making the Si? They probably are. The one with the like 3 billion exhaust. I've lost count of how many times they've changed up the design of the Civic. The Civic looks more like an Accord now, but anyway. But yeah, shifts future production from Mexico to Indiana. Honda will make its next generation Civic hybrid at Indiana instead of Mexico to protect its planned U.S. tariffs on imports. Previously, President Trump threatened 25% tariffs on goods originating from Canada and Mexico, saying for a 10% carve out for Canadian oil. We need the oil. We should be drilling for oil over here. In fact, we shouldn't be having so much ado about oil. Okay, we need to be more self-sufficient, and we need to cut our dependence more on. The thing is, we do consume, and we are the top producer in oil. The problem is we're also the biggest consumer of it, and we import a ton of it. We import about half of our oil, more or less. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but that's the last ones I remember is about 50%, more or less. Maybe 45, maybe 47. Separately, Honda is making investments in American production and has committed $1 billion toward turning its Ohio facilities, including Marysville Auto Plant, into an EV hub. Okay, so let's focus a bit. This is the main thing I wanted to go into about here. Okay, and I'm cutting a lot of stuff that I was going to initially talk about tonight, but let's talk about this. Okay, why do we need to reshore? We'll talk about the death of the American auto culture. It's coming to it's coming to an end at some point. Okay, because layoffs are happening. The EV market is sort of dying off. I mean, the CEO of Lucid Motors has gone. Chrysler can't sell any vehicles. They're on the floor plan for them for like 200 days a year. So the American car market is dying at some point. Okay, and it's going to change drastically. What it's going to change to, if you subscribe and you like the show, go right now on YouTube. If you're watching this, just press the like button and subscribe. We're going to talk about it. I got it this time. Guys. Okay, I remembered it this time. I didn't leave it for the end. Okay, I hate dropping the subscribe thing. I hate ring the bell, like and subscribe. I hate that. but we gotta do it. We gotta bring our subscribership up, and we'll get. Honestly, it's on me because, and trust me, guys. Last side bit of the night. Okay, it's been pretty tough outside of working on the club and everything. Work's been crazy. Okay, so I haven't had time. By the time I get home, I'm tired as heck. I can't go ahead and I'm taking care of things, and I got my marriage coming up, so it's a lot. Okay, but that video is coming out on California and the fires and everything else. Okay, and why the California fires are everything wrong with American infrastructure. That is coming out. Okay, this month it will get done. I'm putting myself down that it's going to get done this month. I'm gonna get it. I don't care what I have to do. It's gonna get done. Okay, not gonna hurt anybody, but still. Let's go to this. Welcome to the Hoosier State. Okay, I hope you like cornfields because there's a lot of them over here. I live next to one. That's probably not going to be there anymore because they're building more suburban housing, but that's another situation. Anyway, let's go down over to Greensburg, Indiana. If I can find it. Oh, it's between here. Wait. Okay. Here is Columbus, where I used to live. And if you go halfway in between Columbus and Cincinnati, here is Greensburg, Indiana. Okay. It's a nice little town. If you go there and you visit there, they have a tree growing out of their city hall. Wait, let me see if I can put it over here. We should bring back the buffalo, by the way. I think we should, instead of re-engineering woolly mammoths, I think we need to bring back buffalo all over the place. And I want them to start smashing into Karen mobiles. That will be hilarious. But yeah, Greensburg has a tree that it's just growing out of there. This old courthouse is pretty cool. You guys should see it. And I used to go there all the time, passing in between. That was the stop between Columbus and Springfield, or Indianapolis and Springfield. But here in the good old town of Greensburg, there's a little place. Oh, Honda Manufacturing of Indiana. There you go. So a lot of people over there have jobs over at Honda. But wait a second. What's over here? Road and Rail Honda. Oh, what's this? It's a short line railroad. But not just any short line railroad. It's the Central Railroad Company of Indiana. There you go. It's a Class 3 short line railroad. We've been talking a lot about short lines for the last year, and I have to thank David Mitchell for really getting it, because now I've been all over talking about short line railroads, and I've been very interested about short line railroads now because of that. Okay? But look at this. The line is owned and operated by Genesee in Wyoming. And of course, these are all private companies. Okay? But the majority of the railroad's traffic comes from finished Honda automobiles produced by Honda Manufacturing of Indiana near Greensburg, Indiana. But grain, chemical products, steel, and other miscellaneous freight are also handled between Greensburg and Cincinnati. The Greensburg-Sylvieville portion has been out of service since 2006, blah, 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 blah. Okay, CIND hauled 8,500 carloads in 2008. This hasn't been updated in quite a bit, but anyway, if anybody wants to do a little touch-up here to the Wikipedia, they definitely need it. But check this out. Oh, the Republican state, the very red state of Indiana, gave out grants. They gave out $250,000 grants to a lot of short line railroads. Yeah, again, take the money. Okay, these bad faith arguments that we keep getting from the same type of people that say this sort of stuff. I just ignore them. Laugh at them. They're silly. That's it. It's silly. I don't even engage with most of these people on X. I'm not doing too well on X because I don't even. I just look at a couple little things here and there, and that's about it. But let's talk about this, okay? And this is the reason why we need to reshore here in this country, because this is jobs. All these Honda, and again, I wish they made back smaller cars and the stuff that they used to make in the 90s and 2000s, but we'll get there because the bigger cars are going to not be. We're going to get back to smaller cars at some point. Within a generation, smaller cars will be back in the United States. We won't have these behemoths. No more, Chevy dualies with clean, immaculate truck beds and ridiculous inch rims and lifted trucks. That's going to be gone soon. That's not going to be a thing. Okay, it'll be like a weird niche of automobile culture, but you're not going to see it anymore as we see it now. The crossover will disappear. I guarantee you guys, good days are coming ahead, just not soon. But anyway, look at this. There you go. There's a whole railroad over here. There's a whole lot of businesses over here that are happening. Okay, railroads, if we can reshore. Again, that railroad doesn't just, it's the biggest thing is Honda manufacturing. But imagine if the state of Indiana, and I will keep talking about the state of Indiana because we live here. I live here at least. I will keep talking about it. Okay, so the thing is, Indiana. The interesting thing about Indiana, there also used to be something called Indiana limestone, which for those of you who don't know, Indiana limestone has built the choice material for close to 30 state capitals, I believe. There you go, 35. 35 state capitals. 35 of 50 state capitals in the United States, okay? Including the Empire State Building, the Biltmore State, the Pentagon, and a National Cathedral, okay? Now, why the hell am I talking about Indiana limestone? Okay? Well, they're not really using it that much anymore. Okay? The Empire State Building is still standing. They stopped using it because of people were freaking out about acid rain, but this is still here. This is still here. Unfortunately, this is still here. Speaking of, by the way, they built this September 11th to January 15th, 1943. They built this in less than a year, about a year and a half. Okay? This country can build when it wants to. Okay? We can do that. We can build. So it's not to say that we can't. We can build it. Okay? We get there. But the thing with Indiana limestone, and let me see if I can go back to what I had here before, if I can find it. It didn't disappear on me somewhere. Oh, I went back. There we go. Okay. And I've been talking about a lot here in the United States is that we've been building our houses like absolute garbage. Okay? I can, without even that much effort, I can just, with my finger, poke a hole into that wall. I won't because I'll get charged for it. But regardless, that wall is not made of not too much, not good material. However, if our own state, instead of going to Canada, okay, for all these tariffs that are going to be happening, okay, instead of going for Mexico to get limestone or for Canada to get timber, we can be building that here. We can be constructing that here. We can be growing that here. We can be building that here. And what does that mean? That means we get more short line railroads. Okay, that means short line railroads can get and do what they need to do again, which is helping this country. Plus, there's a little thing and a little story called the Florida East Coast Railroad, right? Another class, it's a class 2, okay? So another class 2, class 3, okay? The class 1s are going to do it. However, this class 2 railroad did do something. And what did they build? Well, they built Brightline. Now you see where I'm getting to now, okay? If we build local, we bring this back local, we bring back local infrastructure, bring back local manufacturing, okay? You bring up the short line railroads. The short line railroads have their own railroad now, and they say, hey, we run our own railroad between Miami and Jacksonville. We're right close to Orlando. What if we brought back passenger rail? Oh, look at that. Look at that. If you could do privatization right, that's what you can get. You see what I'm saying here, guys? This is the way forward. The way forward is to think local and start building local. The class 1s aren't going to do it, so forget the class 1s. Okay? Class 2s, class 3s, that's what we need to start looking at, okay? Because this railroad, okay, look at that. Now, it doesn't have the full rights over here, but there you go. Like Indianapolis to Cincinnati. What if they decided to run intracity rail in between there? There you go. What if they decided right across the rail, or maybe we'll start building our own, maybe we'll actually start building high-speed rail, or maybe this larger company, this Genesee & Wyoming's railroad, who owns a lot of these companies, maybe they'll start doing the same thing. Who knows? Okay? But this is what I'm talking about, guys, is that we need to start thinking and acting local. rather than thinking that the federal government's going to solve anything, rather than thinking that these large corporations are going to start building or anything, if you start becoming more self-sufficient, we don't have to worry too much about tariffs. You don't have to worry about too much about the globalized economy going to crap. We don't have to worry about if somebody calls the debt on China or anything like that. Who cares? You can do it. Build it in your backyard. That's all we're saying. That's it. Okay? And you know why? You know why we need to build it in our backyard? You know why? There we go. That's why. That's why we're going to build here. That's why. There we go. All right. We're going to end it off with that bang. There we go, folks. Thank you very much. All right. Let's get to the comments over here. That was actually a pretty good one. I didn't plan that. That was that just came to my mind just now. Okay. Boy, I'm thinking off the cuff over here. Okay. Let's get our Discord over here. Wow, we have a lot of people here on Discord. Okay. Let's talk about Dark Amtrak here, guys. That was an interesting side quest. All right. Let's get it in here. All right. I'm kind of liking the lounge thing that we do, but let's do this a little bit differently. Again, everybody's gonna have 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna bring everybody in. That's what we're gonna do. 2 minutes, okay? David, 2 minutes. Minor Tree, 2 minutes. Adam, everywhere, 2 minutes. Minor Tree, he's pretty good on the minute. Darius, 2 minutes. Grand Trunk, 2 minutes. Everybody's on here 2 minutes. And by the way, everybody over on YouTube. All right. I'll be fair with everybody on YouTube. Let me see what the comments are because I've been dropping off of the comments lane over here. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go upstairs. No Class 2 railroads here in California. That's pretty sad. That can happen. It can get there. Class 1 railroads were forced to operate passenger service while continuing to lose money. That's why Amtrak was formed, to alleviate the Class 1s from losing money. Yep, that's really the point. After, again, a lot of things killed passenger rail systems here in the United States the first time around. You had World War II, basically the United States government using the railroads ad nauseum to bring a lot of heavy equipment back and forth. They never repaid to fix that. They just, yeah, here we go. Have at it, have it back. You know, we just threw a whole bunch of Sherman tanks and a whole bunch of steel and everything all over your railroads, but here you go, have it back. They then went ahead and taxed the hell out of these privatized companies. Privatized company to do what? Oh, to go ahead and have the government go ahead and build highways and to build airports and to go ahead and privately fund and subsidize the airlines. Okay? Private companies, by the way. Private companies these airlines were. Okay? So I don't want to hear that, oh, private companies can't receive grants. They have, and they still do. And you know what? Take the darn money. Take it. I'm way past my lowbird phase. Okay, that was back in 12th grade, freshman year. The minute I started getting into, by the way, these were the people that got me out of my lowbird phase. Seeing these people, these college professors, okay, because these look like the college professors that some of them that I had to deal with. Okay. Thank you, Department of Education, because I will never follow you what you did. This is, you know why I'm the way you are? Because of you. Because of you. Okay? That's why. That is why. Okay? But anyway, let me just finish the point. Okay? What happened to passenger rail system in this country was an absolute travesty. And the Class 1 railroads were forced to run it for a while. The government forced them basically to do it. The end came when the government took away the subsidies, and the U.S., funny enough, the U.S. Post Office and Amtrak are kind of tied here in a sort of way. Once the U.S. government pulled away funding and they pulled away the postal service on the tracks and on the trains, they pulled that away, made it into air postal service, and that was it. That was the only thing that was subsidized passenger rail travel, and that was the end of passenger rail travel. Then the U.S. government brought in Amtrak in 1971. That's very short how it happened. Anyway, you can see this video on YouTube. That's actually a pretty good video that has, I would say, stood the test of time. You can look it up, and actually, I'll just go ahead and just, let me see if I can just find it over here real quick. You know what? I'm not going to find it. It's going to take time. Just look up From Class to Crap, What Happened to America's Passenger Rail System. And if you see the guy that's like this, that's me. That was me. Okay, I was maybe 50 pounds lighter back then. But anyway. Should airlines have competition with passenger and freight? They do. They do. Let me see. Hunter was on the board of Amtrak. Wait, Hunter Biden? Wasn't he? I think he was at some point. Not that he did anything. He was probably sniffing lines up and down on on Amtrak. It's probably what he was doing. Okay. All right. Well, YouTube's been pretty pretty calm. All right. Let's go to Discord. Let's go to Discord here. Let me see if I can bring in. Let's see. Let's change this up here. Let's put a nice picture. There we go. Nice cool picture. Whatever. I'll just leave it there. Let's get to business over here. Okay, guys. 2 minutes. 2 minutes each. I'm going to time it. The trusty old Seiko. And maybe I am obsessed with Japanese stuff, but hey, it works. Keeps on ticking. Get a Seiko, get a Casio, and you're good. All right, David, welcome aboard. I'm good, man. What's up? How you doing? You're the short line king here, man. Oh, happy birthday, Novell! Happy belated birthday. One day late, okay? So not too bad. Happy birthday. Ah, man. All right. Anything you have to? Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, man. All right. Chicago and the short line. Let me see. Here we are. Peck to lead Belt Railway of Chicago trains. Here we go. Let's go ahead and open this. I hope trains.com. This has always been a thing with trains.com. They keep asking me for if I signed up. It's like I've been signed up. I don't know why you guys keep forgetting me. Anyway, okay. A Belt Railway of Chicago's okay. Longtime rail executive Jerry Peck is the new president and general manager of the Belt Railway of Chicago. Peck, who started railroading in 1973 and train service with the Illinois Central, worked for 2 decades at Canadian National. Wow. Ascending to general manager before taking the same position with Canadian Pacific in the U.S. East region. He most recently served as consultant with track inspection and maintenance firm Loram Corp. BRC collectively owned owned by the 6 Class 1 railroads: BNSF, CN, CPKC, CSX, Norfolk Southern, and Union Pacific, all of which connect to it in Chicago. It handles more than 8,400 rail cars per day through its clearing yard just south of the Midway International Airport and operates 28 miles of mainline track. All right. Well, that's pretty good. I mean, look, this. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, here we are. Let's bring that up. Amtrak start date announced in the coming weeks during a quarterly meeting of the Southern Rail Commission. Aaron Ryle with Amtrak told the board a firm start date of New Orleans to Mobile passenger rail service. Here we go. Finally, it's back. It's back, folks. There you go. See, look, Amtrak is doing pretty all right. I would leave them alone. And that's coming from someone who's asked to privatize Amtrak for, 10 years. This is one of the main reasons we started this channel and started the High Speed Rail America Club. But it's just funny just to now see that coming full circle, and it's just like, you know what? They're doing fine. Just let them have at it. You know what? The main thing, and Rennell Reed has brought up this a lot. The main reason that Amtrak is really doing what it's doing right now is because of Brightline. Because yeah, and you brought it up too. I mean, we've all noticed this. The minute that Brightline became a thing, and in congressional meetings, a lot of the Congress members were either talking or they were trying to go ahead and induce Brightline to come to their neck of the woods. And I remember that one high-speed rail meeting. It had Brightline, it had Amtrak, and there was like Texas, I think another company, and then it had Hyperloop. Everybody ignored Hyperloop. That was silly. And if even Congress members, okay, probably the lowest denominator when it comes to intelligence, if they even think that the Hyperloop is stupid, it's a bad idea. It's a pretty bad idea. But all of them, Amtrak was saying we're the only one. They were trying to like, please, guys, we're like the only high speed rail. Everybody kept talking to Brightline. Nobody wanted to talk to Amtrak. It was kind of hilarious, kind of sad at the same time. But Amtrak took that message, and they've been even before that. since Brightline has become a thing, they're now using the same train sets that Brightline has. They're using Siemens. They're moving heaven and earth now to try to as fast as they can, which is not too fast, but they're moving as fast as they can to try to upgrade their trains and upgrade their rail system, upgrade their infrastructure. It would not have happened were not for Brightline. So kind of in a sense, Amtrak is kind of operating right now like a privately run company. Maybe not the best, but it's certainly getting better. Yeah. All right. I'm letting you talk just a little bit because I know I've taken up a good chunk of whatever 2 minutes you're gonna have, David. Um, let me see. What was the last thing you had here? Here we are. Okay, let's bring that up. Ah. Okay. Well, I can only see this right now because Frank's is giving me the paywall. But okay, parent agencies of Virginia Railway Express approved funding to purchase Manassas line. Okay, and this is a isn't it a short line or a class two? Oh, it's the commuter rail. Okay. All right. There we go. Yeah, guys, look, the whole thing is that at least we're going in the right direction. Rail service and train service is becoming a thing again, mainly because the disease of boomerism is starting to go away. Okay? It was a bad blip. This whole thing that we've done to this country of suburbanization, it's been a very bad blip, but it's starting to go off. Okay? Even some of the older folks are tired of it. Okay? They have cured some of the boomers have cured themselves of boomerism and they are no longer the bad guys. However, it's still a main problem and it's going to become it's going to be still a problem for a bit of time, but it's going to go away. And that's it. Time is inevitable. Okay, and that's the last thing. There we go. Oh boy, what intonation is that? This is like beginner level CG here. Oh man. Okay. Oh, speaking of Amtrak cursed image. Well, this is probably the worst, the most cursed image over here was Amtrak Captain Amtrak Joe here. That was the probably the most cursed image this week. Oh man. I think he just flies by flatulence. That's what we're seeing there. So anyway, all right. Oh man. Oh wait, it was the other Amtrak replied to Elon Musk with that. But anyway, all right. Appreciate it, David. We'll keep you on. We're gonna keep people on here, and then we're just gonna keep moving. All right, minor tree. First bringing them. All right, and I'm gonna. You can talk, minor tree. I'm just gonna shut up and let you talk. Loud and clear, man. All right. Hold on. Big apologies. Wait. Hold on. Pause a second. Pause a second. David, I absolutely apologize. The desktop audio wasn't working, so nobody on YouTube heard you. We all heard you on Discord. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I will give you. I will give you 30 seconds. Hold on. Let me make sure that this is working. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Speak. Somebody speak.
All right.
All right. It's
This
working.
is one.
Go ahead. 30 seconds.
All right. Do you remember what we were talking about with the short line railroad and Sakari?
Yep.
Like, that's something that I agree with because it is amazing. And also, with Virginia Rail, with that commuter rail doing their expansion, that another big success. Am I right?
Yeah. And that's the thing. We're going to see more short line railroads. We're going to see more passenger rail. It's starting to change.
It happened in here in South Carolina because we got a Volvo plant, we got a car factory popping up here in the Carolinas.
Yeah, and we are going to need cars from some time. Again, it's not the complete end. It's not that car culture is going to completely upend and disappear. It's going to die and come back as something else. It's going to change. It's going to be a very hard metamorphosis for car culture here in the
Mm-hmm.
United States. It's going to downsize in more ways than one. It's still going to be an important part of American car culture. And look, there's even in places like Japan, car culture is a massive thing over there. In Germany, car culture is a massive thing over there. In what other country And you have it. That's the thing. If you bring up like Germany, and I'm sorry, mind you, you're just gonna say just 20
Yeah,
seconds
yeah,
over here.
I can wait.
Okay, okay. You have the Autobahn. And this is I was watching a video. I think it was the Squid who makes it. He makes some really good car videos. But he was talking about the McLaren F1, and there was a doctor who used to go ahead take his McLaren F1 on the Autobahn, basically almost flat out the entire way, close to 200 miles an hour to commute between Frankfurt and I believe Hamburg. I mean, that's just insane. You can't do that here in the United States, but there's Germany. You can do that for
Well, you can do it as
Yeah.
long as the sheriff says it's okay.
As long as the sheriff doesn't catch you. That's all. It's like it's legal as long as you don't get caught in the United States, but it's legal in Germany. Let's put it that way. But yeah, there you go. A country that is they have high speed rail and they have high speed highways. But there you go. There's a massive difference there. I'm not going to get too much into that because that's a whole other thing, and there's a whole lot of nuance of going over. But anyway, Minor Tree, floor is yours. You got 2 minutes, man.
Yeah, let me restart the clock. But for the most part, you're starting to sound a lot like me, where you're like, get the regulations under control and get the tax code under control, and then we can start building again. But I've been seeing some bad faith arguments, even in the server of there's no such thing as being over regulated and stuff. And then I just looked it up. Currently, the federal regulations, not state, not local, just the federal regulations, is over 80,000 pages, depending on which year you want to look at. And they're passing anywhere between 3,000 and 4,000 pages of regulations every single year. But that's considered normal. But I would hate to see what they consider a fair amount of regulations. Is it the close to 1 million pages of regulations that we would have had if none have ever been repealed or expired since the 1960s?
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, just make it so simple that anyone who wants to start a business, they can come up with it with their friends at like 2:00 in the morning, having a few beers, fill out a single page business thing, turn it into the government at 8 a.m., and they can start the company at 9 a.m. Because that was available in Hong Kong before the Communist Party took over.
Yeah, still available in places like Singapore.
Yeah, you do that plus lower taxes. Say you don't have to pay taxes on your business for say the first 5 to 10 years, depending on how you want to do it. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, time's out. But for the most part, it's just here's your business, get it started, and then if you want to upgrade, that's fine in the future.
Oh, speaking of that, Minor Tree, I snuck 2 of your memes into the live chat.
Yeah, I saw them.
Dimitri, you want to show them on the live stream?
Let's do it. Alrighty. Let's see.
Yeah, the first one, you're gonna need some eye bleach.
Oh, the first one. Let's leave the first one for that. I saw it. I'm like, okay, wait. I'm gonna click the spoiler. I just scrolled real quick. But anyway, unfortunately, if any of you guys saw that, man, I apologize. Oh man. But anyway, here you are, IRS. Are you here for your audit? No, I'm here to audit you guys. Oh man. Yeah. No, the IRS and look, Trump's been floating around, killing the IRS. I think it'd be a fun idea. He's not going to do it. I doubt it, but I'll be surprised if he does. I will.
Oh,
and it's time to bring
Dimitri.
Okay.
Dimitri, one thing I forgot to bring up is that Trump is talking about dissolving the Department of School or Education.
Yeah, that's an idea. That's something that can be done pretty easily because you have local departments of education, you have counties departments of education. So I mean, yeah, there's no reason for it. You have like Miami-Dade public schools and commissioneries, and the local areas can, again, states can cover it, local communities and counties can cover it. There's no need for a Department of Education.
It's more of a 10th Amendment thing where it's not supposed to be controlled by the federal government, so it belongs to the state governments.
Yeah, it wasn't here before, and honestly, I mean, look, correlation doesn't equal causation, but I mean, ever since we've had the Department of Education, I mean, we haven't really done too well in terms of education. I mean, how much are we spending per student? We're not doing too well. So results-wise, we don't need it. Yeah, exactly. We don't need it. It can die. I don't care. Let it go. But anyway, Adam Everywhere. Let me invite him to speak. He got a good article over here. So let's. Oh boy, speaking of car culture. All right, Adam Everywhere, come on. You're on board.
Hey, can anybody hear me?
Yep, loud and
We
clear,
can hear
man.
you.
What's up?
Okay, so I found this article about the driverless cars. Uber and Waymo are basically pairing up to see how the technology is going to handle in each city. It's going to spread out.
Yeah.
The technology is still maturing. It's not quite there yet. For
It's not-
some
it's not
cities,
quite there
yes.
yet.
Others, it's still a decade minimum.
I mean, even if it does, and I've seen Waymo work well, when I say work in Los Angeles, I saw it function. Was it working? I mean, half the time I saw them, they were just running around aimlessly, not doing much of anything. But I mean, anytime you did see any of these Waymos go around, it was just one person. You know, these Jaguar F-Pace or, whatever they are. I don't think Jaguar's going to be a real company anymore. Oh, there you go. Jaguar I-Pace. There you go. That's what they were called. I mean, whatever. Jaguar's a dead company at this point. But anyway, yeah, there's only one person. Look, here you go. There's one person in that car. Granted, she's not driving, and maybe that's good that she's not driving. However, the thing is that, again, the problem with driverless cars and Ubers in general is that they're only transporting one person or two people.
Maybe two people, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
They're only going for a short distance.
Bingo. You got it, man. Short distance, and there's no, it's not solving the capacity problem. That's the problem. You want to solve transportation, you want transit in the United States, you need less cars. It's a very simple formula. Not more roads, not more lanes, not, well, if we do this, if we do that. No, if you don't get rid of cars, it's not going to happen. There's a whole bunch of different ways to do about it. We've talked about it. I'm not going to take too much time. Adam Everywhere, if you have anything else you want to say, you got the floor's yours, man. Go ahead.
There's a difference between having this technology in the cities versus in the suburbs. In the suburbs, you got highways. In the cities, you got streets. There's a difference. One works, one doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, one works a lot better.
Yeah. And the problem with a lot of city streets now is that they're more of stroads. And again, not just Bikes has talked about stroads a lot. And he's 100% right about that. And especially in a lot of suburban areas too, or places that like cities, like you have the central city area, but then like right outside it, it's like they just turn to stroads where they're not really streets, they're not really roads, they're just the worst of both worlds. And nobody can, if you see anybody walking across them, they're always jaywalking because there's no really good place to walk in them. And they're stupid, they're dangerous. They're filled with all the urban blight that we just hate to see in this country. It's a lot of the big issue.
Yeah, that's true.
We need a whole episode on that, but I mean,
but that gets into zoning laws paired with a bad mass transit option.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
It feeds into each other.
Oh, by the way, Dimitri, I'm building up video for we both can use in our transit stuff, like in our video documentaries. I've been building that up for both of us.
Nice, man. Yeah, no, that's gonna be good because I need a revamp in B-roll and a whole bunch of other stuff too. It's it's been a bit.
I'm working on B-roll and I'm transferring that over to my Google Photos, and I'm building all that up.
Yeah. Hey, I may have some opportunity within the next year to do some traveling or whatnot. So I'm gonna be starting to get some more B-roll. Hopefully, let's see how things turn up. But that may be a thing, and I may just be able to go places and get some B-roll here and there. So that'll be good. But I mean, worst case scenario. I mean, yeah, there's B-roll online that you can get, but it's not the same. It's not exactly what I want. That's the problem. Or it's just not. It's not what we're all looking for here. It's like us guys here in the club. We know kind of what we're getting and what we want to get composition wise. It's kind of the thing.
I look for a balance.
Yeah, that right.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's see who's next. Grand Trunk Line. Let's bring him on board. And guys, if you want to join in on YouTube, it's pinned in the comment up there. You can join on in. Come on board.
So
we don't bite.
So we're not animals. Well, kind of.
All right, Grand Trunk Line, you're on, man. What's up? Floor's yours.
Uh,
You there,
there's a
man?
quarry company. I'm here.
All right.
There's a quar-
We can hear you.
there's a quarry company that was trying to revive an old Southern Pacific trackage in Texas. But it's in the general chat.
All right, I'm gonna check in the general chat. Let me see. Is it was it just posted?
I just posted it.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can find it here. Let me see.
Oh yeah, I found it.
Yeah,
I found
about 12 hours ago. Well,
Okay, that's it's all right.
Yeah.
David, you got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the live chat for him.
All right.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
All right, got it.
There we go. That's why
Right,
we're a
there we
club here,
go.
guys. We got each other's backs over here. That's good. All righty, quarry company to revive, expand 27-mile long Central Texas rail line through Burnett County. There you go. See, again, if we start building over here, that's what we get. We get more railroads. That's what we need to do. We have to bring back manufacturing. That's really the biggest thing. That's honestly, if anything out of all of this, all these tariffs and everything else, it's bringing people to go ahead and bring back manufacturing, and it's working. It's working. So it's gonna hurt for, and again, everybody says, "Oh, are we in a recession?" No, we have been in a recession. I would say we've been more in a depression since the coup, and we've never really gotten out of it. Okay,
Well,
let's
like,
be
we've
fair.
been-
in 2023, they changed the definition of a recession from 2 consecutive quarters, so they didn't have to admit that Biden put us in a recession.
Yeah, no, we've been
Oh,
in a
yeah.
recession. At the very least, we have been in a recession. We've been stuck in a recession. Is Trump going to get us out of it? He may make it better. I mean, the egg prices may come down at some point. I mean, it's going to take, like, this is why I have a local person who wish I go to eggs, which, I mean, still they're going to have problems too, because this week they had to cut back on eggs because there's now such a demand now for local eggs. But luckily, there's another place down the street that I can go ahead and get eggs. At some point, I gotta have my own chickens. But anyway, we'll get there.
Yeah, as long as we learned a difference between the two great depressions, because the first Great Depression, it lasted for a full 18 months, and then the second Great Depression, we had the Federal Reserve decide, you know what? No, let's change things up again. Government, get involved. And all of a sudden, we went from 9% unemployment to 25% unemployment in less than a year. And it lasted for well over a decade because the government got involved.
Yeah. Our heartless fiends, sir, where are the eggs? Yeah, the eggs are gone, man. There's no eggs.
And like we are in a depression right now, what we are in.
Yeah, no,
You
it's definitely that. All right, let me get back to this over here. Let's stick on topic for everybody over here. Hold on. Well, Grand Trunk Line, do you have anything else that you want to add on to here, or do you want me to go a little bit deeper into this article?
Oh, the Museum of Pennsylvania is building a roundhouse right next to the Strasburg Railroad.
That nice.
They're not gonna crash again, are they?
Can I say?
Encore.
Oh man.
Right, I mean, Demo, Demetria, bring that meme up. Bring it up because you brought that meme up. You gotta bring it up on live stream.
I know.
I don't want to imagine it.
Come on, man, pay up.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? Grand Trunk Line, you still want to speak? Anything else to add?
I've been working on ideas for passenger rail and transit. I already done one. They're already posted in on the proposal board.
Let me check over here what you got here, man. Alrighty. Let me see.
It's gonna take a bit to scroll up.
Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, is there let's bring this one so that I can get over here. Let me see. Okay, so this is up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me see if I can move the picture out.
Maybe one more thing.
Okay.
Mhm.
No, this is pretty good. Yeah, look, and this is more of just a regular streetcar or
This is Metro.
okay, metro. Okay. No, this is pretty cool, man. All right. For some reason, it's not letting me show it up on here, but yeah, if you guys again. Join our Discord. This is a good way to plug it in. Go on to Discord, join us there. We do have a proposal board. And if you want to be like Rain Trunk Line and a whole bunch of other people on here, you can go ahead and put your own proposals. You never know, at some point, maybe it does become real. Who knows? But everything starts from an idea. Come on board and join us in. There you go. Alrighty, man. Great. No, I like the ideas and everything. And this whole thing again, the quarry company here. Bringing in the short line over here for this is the type of stuff that we need. If we can start building more over here, we can start rebuilding our infrastructure. It's just a matter of just reshoring. Alrighty, Brightline fan, let's bring him on. Going once, going twice. Oh, and I'm hearing CSX out there. Oh, there he is. Come on.
Okay. What's up, everyone?
Hey, man.
What's up, everybody?
You made it.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, I have two things to say. Something that's Amtrak related and something that's not non-Amtrak related. I was reading an article from the Microsoft Network. Elon Musk actually posted a tweet about privatizing Amtrak, and then Amtrak actually replied saying, "We're not stopping till you take the train."
Yeah, I noticed that, and now this is what they said. We'll keep doing this until you take the train, and this is what they replied. I don't know why this article posted the Instagram thing, but whatever. I think there's a whole thing now within the mainstream media that they're just avoiding just putting up any sort of X links or anything like that, just to be snide. But it's a little silly, but whatever. Yeah, that would be fun to see Elon Musk actually ride on Amtrak. I doubt he would, but. Look, I honestly think, well, Sean Duffy can be on Amtrak. He's been invited to go over to the reopening of the Sunset Limited, so that would be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing is that, non-Amtrak related stuff is that
Let's see.
I realize that we are paying subscriptions. In other words, if you're buying a computer, you're paying a subscription. That computer is not yours anyways. I mean, what the heck? We just became a subscription-based economy at some point.
Yeah, and that's the problem. There's got to be, actual real good business practice. Look, the thing is that capital is a good thing if it's used for the right purposes. Okay, and that's the thing. Laissez-faire capitalism is not good because then what you get is basically a corporatocracy where several companies or several monopolies. And monopolization is not a good thing. There's several ways you can have actual like natural monopolies, like an electric company. It's not really feasible to have 20 electric companies for one county. That's not really feasible. So maybe there's a way to have a natural monopoly in some places. But when we're talking about these massive corporations, or let's say BlackRock, because everybody was talking about BlackRock now owning the Panama Canal. It's technically MSC, but MSC is mainly owned by BlackRock, so it's BlackRock basically owning the Panama Canal now. The problem is that now you get all these bad business practices that become the norm because who else are you going to go to? And that's really a problem, and that's something that needs to be reined over. Now, when you have local economies, you can't have those sorts of monopolies, okay? It doesn't happen as much because now that sort of capital is in the hands of local economies, of different other economies, and people having and owning privatized land. That's a good thing because when you have the other problem is that when people become a renter culture, they don't own the land, they don't have any claim to the land, and thus they're not going to really feel any sort of connection to it. So we need to have a balance, and there needs to be some sort of levers. You cannot have corporations have all the levers. You cannot have government have all the levers. So anyway,
yeah, it's the difference between buying a vehicle for a child versus having that child buy their own vehicle. The one who pays for it themselves is going to take much better care of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, I think Dump Trucker wants on now.
Yeah, let's bring on Dump Trucker.
Mhm.
There we are. And then we'll bring on Darius last. There we go.
I made it.
What's up, man?
Finally.
When you see
Mhm.
this finally over, and now I'm back to doing my job again.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
It's always good to be
Nice.
working. It's better than not working.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Contract.
So
Yeah.
I saw the Borealis is going to be expanded possibly to Fargo, North Dakota. That would
Yep.
be great.
Cool.
Oh, I saw that too.
If I go,
If the commuter service gets cut, at least there'll be 2 intercity trains
Yep.
that will
Mhm.
probably run on that line.
possibility.
You have the
Yeah,
impossibility
possibility.
of running the line.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good stuff.
Along
Man.
with
Yeah.
bus service.
And that's the thing. I think we need to start, pushing more on the Class 2 and Class 3 railroads. Because look, we wouldn't be here, and honestly, this would be a dead topic. We're not for a plucky Class 2 going ahead and saying, you know what, we're going to spin off and build our own privatized passenger rail system. That's
That's a
go.
great idea. But that
That's
you
great.
should really, I think that applies to certain situations. If you're running in a place where you could run, or where these small towns, especially up in Maine, where they're not really connected to the national system, and it's hard to get supplies out there, this train can get it there.
Bingo.
Yep.
Especially if you're on the
Exactly.
line.
And the best part about it is, it costs so much. It's like, yeah, it costs more
Well, it
to
costs a
put
lot just to
one
maintain
track
it.
rail than it does to put one lane of road traffic, but you can
I
put
know.
more stuff
And
on that one track
yeah.
than the
Or
one
building
lane.
a whole new interstate.
Especially you
Which
guys
they're
yards
still
over there
doing.
and
Which
you
I
got
guess
companies over there
apparently
on
in
the
the
same line.
2010s, we're still building interstates.
What the
But
hell?
don't-
In modern day?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, we're still building interstates.
Yeah, I-69 is
most
still
of the-
getting built.
Most
No,
of the
more
new
than
interstate.
that.
Most of
I
the
knew
new
you were mentioning I-69. I knew you
No.
were mentioning I-69. Come on.
most of the
Mississippi's
new
built in
Oh,
Indiana.
Hear me
Here's the thing
out.
with I-69.
when it comes
I-57. They're
when it
still
comes to the
extending I-57.
most of the new interstates that they're building are basically taking existing highways and upgrading them to interstate standards.
Yeah.
There
Pretty
are a few
much.
that are
Tell
connected.
You should tell that to North and to the Carolinas, which are just building
Yep.
interstates up and out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I think the major
I
problem right now in the
agree.
Carolinas
I agree
because
with that.
unfortunately for you, David, there's going to be a heck of a lot more people moving over to the Carolinas as
Oh, I
Florida.
know.
Here's the thing: Florida has become way too overcrowded. Now people are starting to leave Florida to go to South Carolina or to North Carolina
Oh,
because
yeah.
now it's too crowded in Florida, and everybody it's become too much of a good thing. Which is why people who are born and raised in Florida can't even live in Florida because all the snowbirds and everybody else wants to now live and take over Florida, which leaves us out in the cold, literally and figuratively out in Indiana. Although it's starting to warm up, but however,
I don't.
Yeah.
that's the problem. Is
I'll
that
be dead honest.
but
not everybody can
when you
move down to the
retire,
Sun
you don't
Belt.
want.
It's
Yeah, but when
it's
you-
full. It's
I
full.
honestly, I don't blame
Even
them
cheaper
because
taxes.
it gets stupid colder than shit up north, and
It's a
Yep.
Even if
When
colder-
when people retire, they don't want to be shoveling for half the year.
I, for one,
they
enjoy
go
the
Florida.
snow.
Retire-
That's right.
Basically,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see,
yeah,
I see
yeah.
shoveling as
They can.
exercise. I love it. Every
I
time I see
agree.
snow,
It
I'm
is
the only one there
exercise.
shoveling it because I like it. I'm
I
the
think I agree
crazy.
with
Or
Demetrius.
if you hate it, buy a snowblower.
Yeah,
Listen,
I'm the
shoveling
psychopath
snow
out
is
there
better
with
than
like
shoveling a lot more snow.
yeah, I'm the psychopath out there with like big headphones listening to the Rocky IV soundtrack while I'm shoveling snow without a t-shirt. That's me out there. Okay? But,
Oh, that would probably be me too. That would probably be me too because I'm a snow lover.
yeah.
I'm the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
who I'm the guy who
love
looks
the
at the
white
snow.
stuff.
I'm the guy who looks at the snow from the computer screen while enjoying 80-degree winter days.
Until it comes to Texas,
I
and then
think-
the Texas turns into an apocalypse, and it starts to snow
Oh
and
yeah.
hell.
Oh, we're going to
Yeah.
Texas deep freeze.
You should. Yeah, but it sucks when you go on vacation when a week prior that place got snow, aka the coast of Houston. We went there
Oh
and
man.
it snowed a week prior, so the water was cold. It was kind of cold out there, and it was like, oh, great.
Okay, guys, we went from
Caribbean
streets
it
to
was.
South Carolina to snow. Wow. Okay, this is cool. All right, let's bring up Darius because Darius has been waiting here a long time, and now he just put his hand
Oh yeah,
up. So
let's bring him on.
let's bring him in. All righty. Come on in. Your water's great. There's no snow here. There you are.
Oh yeah, I love water now.
Okay.
South Carolina somewhat still subtropical kind of.
Subtropical. It felt like 72, 70 outside today. I was like, woo! More
It
of
feels
this.
very nice today.
What's the
Probably
bad?
mid 70s for now.
But it's also continental, meaning it has 4 distinct seasons.
That's the sucky part of it.
Yeah, here in Texas, we have 2 seasons. We have summer and we have not summer, and the 2 weeks in between when the weather just gives up.
Yeah, we've got like all 4 of them here.
Guys, let's let Darius talk. Anything you wanted to bring up, man?
All right. So, Demetrius, I thought that the people moving from Florida to the Carolinas is still quite interesting because it's still quite warm there, but yet there's still a lot of space there.
Yeah, and I think
and
also
less expensive.
Yeah, in
although for
comparison-
us, I don't know if it'll be that much less expensive.
Yeah, but in comparison to getting a 3-bedroom in Florida to a 3-bedroom or whatever, the same acreage and square footage in South Carolina, you're talking about basically a 30% of the cost of what you get in Florida, and that's when people are going to be moving there.
Yeah,
These
houses are like $500,000.
Yeah.
And don't forget
you might as well just
guys,
leave
guys,
it to the million.
Fit in my area because one, I'll bring it up. Here in South Carolina, the cheapest apartments go between $800 to $900. That's the cheapest we got now. And there is a house that is over $8 million in my area in Ravenel.
Dang.
Where I live.
Yeah, but you also forgot to mention that there's not as many alligators that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Oh, still got alligator. We still got alligator. We got snakes.
Yep.
And
we have snakes, spiders, deer,
same as us.
Mountain lions, apparently.
Oh, you still got them over there?
Lions.
Dude, they have just appeared randomly out of nowhere.
That southern Texas that you call that has 2 seasons is actually still subtropical continental.
Yeah, I know.
It's still summer, winter, fall.
Guys, can we talk about trains?
Yeah, you're right. Let's get back on the topic.
All right, Darius, is there
Speaking
any
about the Gulf of America. Speaking about the Gulf of America, there's this rail that's been derelict for a very, very long time, and I think if Amtrak was fragmented into different companies, all owned under Elon Musk.
Oh no, okay. Well, let's do this thing. No, that's not what we're saying. Elon Musk is not going to own anything. No.
So hear me out.
Listen.
So here we go. As great as Elon is, he still has his downsides.
Yeah.
Like instead of being owned by Elon Musk, let's get someone else to do it. Nationalize the network. Train goes to every small town in the country. You get more.
Listen, I don't see Elon at all, but
you see more.
Elon sells it to stakeholders in South Carolina, in different parts of the country. Like a certain stakeholder will own a company in the Gulf of America, which, by the way, that rail between Mississippi and Pensacola's been still wrecked up since Hurricane Katrina.
Well, they're bringing it back.
You guys surprised? It's not fixed.
I thought
there
they
was
fixed that.
Yeah, aren't they
limited
from
Orlando all the way to LA.
Hold on, we were just talking about that because they're opening it up. Funding and operating agreements with Louisiana and Mississippi must still be completed, but they're looking to be on track for summer 2025. And they're even inviting Sean Duffy to come out, which he should go. He should.
Yep.
Yeah,
but Sarah, New Orleans to Mobile passenger rail. So there you go. The Sunset Limited is coming back. It is not. It's not
The
Sunset
Limited is gonna go back to Florida
at some point. Yep. I mean, it's gonna come back. But look,
It's gonna
Whole
come
deal.
back at some point, but
Yeah, they'll get
population
Amtrak
needs to be there
brought
first.
that back years ago.
Or
Listen.
only transcontinental rail line
Should have
within the
been back
country.
years ago, that for sure.
Yeah, no, it should have been like the minute it
You
came
need to
down.
look at the
It should have been.
population on the Gold Coast first.
Yeah, they should have built that back up already, like immediately. Like any other country would have done that. I mean, it's only here in the
The
United
same
States. where they
line
just-
that the Amtrak train derailed on was in service for years after that derailment. Why was Amtrak so scared to bring it back?
I think it had less to do with Amtrak and whoever was operating. I forget, yeah, I think was it CSX that owned the bridge that?
Yes.
I think it
Yes,
is
TSX.
Yeah.
It runs the line all the way to Atlanta, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact details of it. I remember seeing like a whole documentary about how it just completely got wrecked and everything. But
I've seen.
I know it by a barge.
It's a line, and they built it after Katrina.
yeah, but Amtrak still hasn't come back on it, which is, I mean, look, it's just a matter of like there has to be some sort of sense of like, you know what, we want to go back into there, and they have to be hungry enough to go ahead and do it. There's just so many things wrong with it. I mean, what Amtrak is doing now, I mean, is it a lot that they're doing that's a little too late? Yeah, probably, but at least they're doing it rather than not now. I mean, it's taken time. I mean, we talked about this back. I think remember in 2019 or 2020 they were talking about bringing it back. I mean, it's kind of back now, but
they've been talking about that.
Down so fast.
yeah.
The thing is,
It was like, why?
the thing is there any freight that runs on the line?
Yeah,
These planes would still be useful for
freight
of course,
runs
from
on that
Florida
line,
to
but that's
California.
also because freight is a lot easier to clean up and a lot quicker to do than a passenger train
Yeah,
derailing.
unless you're East Palestine.
Yeah.
That's a low blow.
Palestine,
You
that's
still got a lot
little-
of seaports and inland ports,
At least it's under CSX,
which
not
have
Norfolk
rail
Southern.
links
Yeah,
directly
which
to seaports.
Which, by the way, there's a new Palestine down south over here, so I'm a little bit worried because it seems like the powers that be love to blow up anything with Palestine or Palestine. So I'm just hoping that doesn't become the next target at some point or another. I mean, luckily they've already upgraded. They've already upgraded the infrastructure over here. It only took them like whatever how many years that they finally went ahead and because basically the tracks over here, the CSX tracks, the crossing still had wooden boards, and every time cars would go over it, they just plop up all over the place, and people were afraid of going across it, and they were just trying to find regular ways. Now so CSX closed it within 1 week and then completely paved over it. The rest of the county's streets are still filled with potholes, but the private company could go ahead and fix it within a week. They only closed it down for a week.
So here's what states need to do. And the state of Iowa did this because my dad was a part of this program. What it is the U.S. Department of the State Department of Transportation needs to team up with the railroad. So in this case, Iowa Department teamed up with UP, and they went with all their mainline crossings across the main DOT maintenance road. Any of those roads made by the DOT, all those crossings got fixed and repaired.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that's what they should be doing. I mean, Florida did it with Brightline.
Either do that or what different vigilante groups have been doing over the years in drawing dick pics over the potholes on the road. So...
I want to go a step further. I want to go a step further. Minor tree. They should go a step further. Okay, they don't have to put dick pics on the or spray paint them on there. What they should be doing is like, remember when people were putting Biden stickers on gas pumps saying I did that? Just put your local mayor's face and just saying I left that there with like a smiling face of their portrait. Like put it on like a pike and a stick and just put like there with like a picture of their face. And they'll clean it up real quick.
Come on.
Yeah.
Hey,
do
I
that.
got a better idea. Do it yourself. Buy white concrete. You
Not
can buy
good.
it, stick it at a Home Depot or a Walmart.
Yeah.
Or not Walmart. And just fill it yourself.
Well, I mean, you can do it yourself. I mean, how many times?
That's why it's called DIY.
How many municipalities where that's happened, where there's been like a vigilante group that's went ahead and filled out a pothole, and then the city went immediately to go ahead and dig it out? That's happened.
I get why they did that, because that could damage the road. But like, you're making your message, or you're like the one guy where he put trees in them.
Yeah, it's
He
just
just put a tree in the pothole.
I'm pretty sure if all of a sudden it's like, who owns the railroad? This company. It's like, here's a picture of your CEO pointing to how bad the rails are, and it's like, I did that. That would solve a lot of issues.
Here, I got a perfect better idea.
Yeah, maybe that's what we're gonna have to.
Do it. I got a better idea. Do it with your governor. Picture of your governor said, "Point in the bottle." I did that.
Yeah. Here, look, there's a whole bunch of
Really?
articles over here with people doing that. That's basically here when I go on Brave Browser. Yeah, man fills potholes as the city won't, and then they'll go ahead and break it up again. That's the problem. But yeah, it's if the city won't do it, you build it yourself. You are the city, not the elected officials. Even if they
It's
elect
like, who's
themselves.
gonna fix the road? Domino's
So
Pizza.
we are part of the problem.
Yeah.
Like, another reason I think they probably leave the potholes in is just for car tires to go flat or car to break, because some of the mayors have connections with car dealership, insurance company, gas station, tire places. They get some money from them, you know.
I think it's even
All
worse,
like
David. I think they
leeching
just
off
don't.
stuff.
I think they just don't care. That's the
Mhm.
other thing. They just. I mean, here in Indiana, which I will keep talking about. The thing is that they have a website for the state of the government. You can go ahead and claim damage on a pothole. Here's the thing. In the last 2 years, I think they've only paid out after I don't know how many claims. They've only paid out $200 of
Bro,
claims.
what?
Yeah.
$200?
I have to-
That's not even anything.
What is that for? What's that
I
for?
don't think that's the exact number. It's something abysmally low, but it's a very bad number,
Wait.
and that's the thing. Yeah, I gotta
On
look it
what?
up. Hold on.
I know.
I
On
cannot-
what
I
again?
cannot-
On the
that
Norfolk
cannot be
Southern
enough to pay
Palestine
for a
event?
street.
Or
Let me see. Indiana.
Say, how much is it per
potholes.
street?
I mean, it's
Or
the
how much
thing-
is it per mile?
well, forget that. I mean, the thing is, it's probably okay. Here we go. Want to get reimbursed for pothole damage in Indiana? Here we go. Here's what you need to know. Yeah. So this is how bad it is. In the Midwest, you have to go ahead and get you have to go ahead and put in to get a reimbursement for potholes. The problem is, it's basically impossible to go ahead and get your reimbursement. Okay, here we go. This is something abysmally low. The chance of getting reimbursed are very slim. In 2020, only 16 of the 251 claims made were paid out. 2019 was even lower with 12 of the 169 claims. So you're basically not going to get anything.
here's what they did. They probably looked at what the damage was and said, "Oh, that's barely it, but a scratch. Here's a $20. Go fix it."
Well, here's the thing. It's like, what the taxes are being paid, and what are you doing? Might as well just do it ourselves, and why not? Who cares?
Yeah.
There's so many potholes all over the place.
The deal.
That's the problem. There's so many. We're paying
True.
so much in taxes in this country. They can't even build the infrastructure that exists, let alone build anything new. So there's a massive problem. So yeah, if Doge is going ahead and cleaning out the government, who cares? They weren't doing anything anyway. We can see it. We drive on it every
better
day.
idea. If you've got a road full of potholes, replace the whole thing.
Wait. For everybody who has been laid off from Doge, okay? And here's the thing. I've been laid off from I don't know how many jobs where I worked my ass off, and then all of a sudden, oh, the stock goes down. We're going to, cut off whatever how many people, or oh, there's a coup. Time to cut off whatever how many people. These people have had basically jobs where they can stay in here forever, and then somebody comes in, a Spurg comes in and starts, flapping his hands all over the place, giving his heart out all over, and cuts him off. It's hilarious. You know what? I don't have any tears for you, lady. My tears have been gone a long time ago for me and my family. My dad who have been laid off. So many people that I knew. So many friends who have been laid off. Too bad. Go fill potholes. Go fill potholes. There you go. There's a job for you.
Hey, all they had to do was answer an email. It was
even
not hard.
I couldn't even get a chance at Noah.
Here's an easy thing.
There you go.
So much
you
for
can
DEI.
either A, lose your job, or B, here's a pickaxe. You can go work on the railroads.
Go,
You don't
yeah,
like working on the
go-
railroads? There's potholes.
Fill potholes.
We got options.
Fill potholes.
With all the illegal immigrants gone, there's going to be a lot of help wanted signs out there.
Oh man, yeah. No, it's bad, and what's going on with everybody in the country. Look, we've been in a recession for so long, and now these people have finally hit it. Oh well, that's what it is. Okay, look, I've gone through it. It sucks. And guess what? I didn't have a federal government where I could just sit there all the time and just claim. Because look, we know where these federal jobs are doing. We've seen California consultants getting $666 million to build what? To build what exactly? Okay, the fruit is there, and it's a bad fruit. It's a bad tree, and it has to go at some point or another. Prune it. Prune the damn thing.
You said it. You said it.
There we are.
Exactly.
Go fill
Rikus.
potholes. There we go. That's how we'll end it. All right, guys. Let's close
no,
this off. 5 minutes. We're gonna end it
Yeah.
at 10:10.
It looks like David got kicked out.
Demetrius,
Oh, let's
yeah,
bring it
David
back.
got kicked out.
I didn't do it. All right, David. Let's bring you back in. All right. Let's leave it here, guys. All right.
Yeah, someone called me on Discord and they kicked me out of the call.
Ah,
That
man.
why.
Darn it.
Were they calling about
But-
your car insurance?
No, just some friend of mine, just some
Okay.
random old friend.
All
but-
right.
The one thing I'm looking for, and it's only a month away, it's a Veil of Liberty. That I'm looking forward to.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'm looking for
Oh,
that
It
too.
hasn't been
Whenever
canceled
it comes in
yet.
service.
Wait, it hasn't been delayed yet.
Nope. No delay.
They
It's gonna
haven't.
be coming in.
Finally, and I swear, last day before they go into service, they're like, "Oh, we gotta delay it for another year." I will go to the Northeast and put a trespass, put a
Right,
sign
I'm
by the
about to-
track that says, "Put your stinking trains in service."
Right. But let me
But
bring it
everything
up
has to
also.
work.
We got a new not commuter rail, but a new short line railroad popping up to connect to the Volvo plant up in Goose Creek. Got a new short line, and it run by the Palmetto Railroad. And it's big because we have not had a new railroad pop up since the late 2010s, you know? So it's good.
Yeah, I think we're moving in the right direction. It's gonna be slow.
Yes,
like
we
I
are.
said before, it's
is.
gonna get
It's
worse.
going to be
Before
a
it gets
rough
worse, before it
beginning.
gets worse, and then
We'll
it's
be
gonna start to
right
get
all the
better.
way to the end.
It's gonna take time, guys. It's gonna get
Oh,
slow,
yeah.
but the ideas are getting out there. It's getting there. You know, we're look. I mean, we've been on the scene, and I would say we've had 100% success rate when it came to Brightline. We started with that and went from there. Now, I wouldn't say 100%. Let's be fair, because Texas. Well, we don't know what Texas is going yet, because I mean that was honestly a very good project, and it's sad that
Good
they
It's
didn't
good.
get there. It's now coming
Yeah.
back, but let's see where that goes. Okay,
Mhm.
again, if
And then we got Byline West.
yeah, look, if Amtrak can go ahead and do that, cool. That's cool. Let them
Alright.
do it. Let them
It's
do it.
time.
Just build it. Okay. Brightline West is now, they're going to start to build over, and they're going to get that done by 2028. I wish they could get it done by the Olympics. I think they can. There's got to be some way to get it done.
I give
before
them
the Olympics.
50-50 chance to get it done by the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah,
it would
It
still
would
be
be
cool.
nice, but
But
there's a lot of
also going to
construction that
be
needs to happen
watching-
first.
Mario and Sonic also going to be watching for it. I surprised they weren't showing up at they're having their games at the 2024 along as a parallel game along with the
what are you talking
queer.
about? You talking about for the Nintendo?
See y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, Mario and Sonic. And forgot to mention for the record that today is Mario Day, March 10th.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
You're gonna have.
Now you mentioned it.
right.
Nintendo will be giving out lawsuits to everybody.
Yeah, I was gonna say we would have had Luigi Day, but he's in jail.
Ouch.
That's gonna hurt.
All right. Okay, guys. Any last words now?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, assuming that the ball continues to roll, we can probably have a lot of the regional rail trains up by this time next decade. But the high-speed rail,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably going to be another 15, 20 years before they start really
Wait,
starting.
do you
pushing
think
out
they're
a
gonna
lot.
private? Do you really think they're gonna privatize Amtrak?
No.
It's
If
50-50, I
they-
cannot say.
If they deal with the
We're
regulation
generating
side
in-
and the tax side, there's no need for it.
Yeah,
Amtrak
I
will
think this,
basically be
And
not
they
needed.
got to deal with the freight companies first.
I mean, there's no need.
Yeah,
Well, here's the thing: Amtrak has had private operators operate on their rail line, like they did. Speaking of Indiana, again, they did this with the Hoosier between Indianapolis to Chicago, where basically the state government said we're not going to give you any more money to operate. So Amtrak had to contract out a private
All
short rail
right,
company, by
Dimitri,
the way.
I gotta go, bud.
All right, man. Later.
I gotta
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
Y'all
So-
have a good night, and
Take care, man. Thanks for
Kasabian,
coming
have a
on.
ride
Thank
at the station. Bye,
Good
guys.
night, man.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night.
All right.
But
Bye.
What were you saying?
yeah, that's
ahead,
the
what were
way
you saying?
forward. So I mean, Amtrak has done it before, and it's a possibility that they can go ahead and do something similar again. It has nothing to do again. It has nothing to do whether we privatize or publicize, whatever it is. It's all a matter of who's running it and are they willing to do whatever it takes to get whatever needs to get done, and what to do the right thing. That's what matters.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because if you try to nationalize everything, you get the same issue that Amtrak's already having, and it just becomes a giant political football. But if you
Well, I
deal
think
with
that
the
I wonder if they're trying to do the UK style, where they can control when they run freight.
Yeah, no, that'll be
Yeah,
that'll be a disaster.
it's nationalization with extra steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But-
is
yeah,
how
go-
is freight companies going to run on privatized track for Amtrak?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the tracks are private, except for the Northeast Corridor and a couple of other places. I mean, they are private. They're run by the Class 1 railroads. It's just the operation that Amtrak is running on there, along with their own trains. That's what's owned by Amtrak.
yeah, and other than putting in the Sherman antitrust laws against the Class 1s, it's going to be hard to break up the track ownership.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
going to
and
be
especially in Chicago because
Done.
it's a mess.
If you privatize the freight network, it could be done, but that would tick off a lot of owners.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while, guys, and I think I think building up the solution are not ourselves, but like small solutions and states coming up, like what's going on and all these short lines that are popping up. That's what's gonna be the solution. Forget trying to break apart something or destroy something. It's gonna fall apart anyway. There are some things that are too big that will fail. I mean, GM at some look at Chrysler. Chrysler at this point, those were too big to fail. Chrysler is about doomed.
Why prolong the suffering for Amtrak?
Oh, my friend, we're past your
I know.
time a little bit.
Well, I mean, why prolong the suffering for Amtrak? I mean, it's not a dying animal. I think Amtrak is on the up and up. It will still
It
exist,
is on the rise.
and I think it'll still be here. Definitely in the Northeast Corridor. I think there's options for Amtrak. I mean, look at what
And there's
Spain
options
did.
in the Midwest,
Yeah,
options in the South, Southeast, Southwest, and Northwest Pacific.
yeah, like
Especially those areas.
yeah, there's places that have done it right, like in Spain. The government built the high speed railroads. They still operate and own a high speed rail service, but they also allow the service as well, or the railroads, to have private companies go ahead, or other state companies like the French companies run some railroads on there too, as well, some services. So I mean, we could look at all the other places that have done it right, and we can do that sort of thing here. But yeah, there's a whole lot of good options, and we can do it. David Jackson is saying to nationalize eggs, which is kind of funny on YouTube. So, all right, guys, we'll end it at that. This is
we
a
still
good
got a
one.
lot. We still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we're getting there. So thank you everybody for joining on board on this episode, on this live stream of the ARC stream. And since David, who usually says it, is not here, I will go ahead and say it. Make sure you go ahead. I hate saying it, but do like this live stream so other people can get to see it. Okay? And if you haven't yet, subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when our next live stream is coming, and when I finally get that video coming on, and then we'll finally start coming back and bringing in regular videos again. It's happening. All right. I made sure you guys saw that clip. It's happening. It will get there. We're gonna get this done by March. I promise you that. All right, guys. Thank you all for coming on board. We will see you all next time. Take care. Thank you for riding, and Godspeed.
Have a blessed
Godspeed,
day.
everybody.
Bye.
That